distance, we could absolutely see some of those new maps again. Grand final of this WardiTV Spring Championship qualifier. A difference in prize money on the line. As in the bottom left, we do have the blue Zerg player. This is RagnaroK. Taking on the red Terran player in the top right-hand side, Cure. In one of this best of 5. What's up, Phalanx SC2? Starting our grand finals off with the 24-month, 2-year resub. Says here's to 2 more years of awesome games of StarCraft. Cheers and thanks. Thank you so much, Phalanx SC2. Appreciate it, buddy. Here is to 2 more years. I'll be here in 2 years' time. We'll still have the ESL Pro Tour happening. It's so crazy. 3 years of StarCraft guaranteed. Woo! We love it, guys. We love it. We love to hear it. As that is a button that was not meant to be pressed. So... 47ness. 100 bits is another cast when you sleep. Much thanks for the content. Thanks so much for the bits, dude. Thanks for the support today. Have a good one. See you next time, buddy. Thanks for always being here. As we do go into this TvZ then, so again, a bit of history between these two in WardiTV this year already. The grand finals of the WardiTV 2020, which was earlier this year, end of January, start of February, was Cure versus RagnaroK. And RagnaroK just 4-0'd Cure, and it was kind of a one-sided affair. It didn't look pretty. It wasn't great to watch. It was a bit of a lackluster finals following up what was a great tournament otherwise. So, kind of hoping for something a little bit more exciting. I know this is just a qualifier final and so on, so it's not as much on the line by any stretch of the imagination, but kind of hoping for something a little bit more. And as you do see, for the moment, the Reaper expansion from Cure will follow up with the Marine as well, so a little bit of safety there as the Reaper continues down across the bottom left-hand side of the map. Hey, Logic Soldier, thank you so much for the 500 bits. Says Wardy to GOAT. Much love for keeping me entertained before my morning meeting. Hey, thank you so much for the 500 bits, dude. Much appreciated. As we do have our Reaper coming all the way across the map then. And is going to drop a grenade, pop a drone backwards. Zerglings taking some damage. Wing speed on the way up here from RagnaroK as well, so just getting that up and running now. Really nothing too crazy. And Cure are going to start pretty regularly as well. Just starting down the CC in the main base, so 3rd CC on the way up already. So very just quick setup to economy. Not going to go hyper aggressive here on Eternal Empire. Kind of happy to let the game play out into a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a longer build up here. So that's what we'll be seeing for the moment as this Reaper moving around. Queen continues to get a few shots off. A couple extra Hellions on the way out, and starport building in this main base as well. So going to be a 3cc with the starport to follow up. So still some potential aggression here, just delayed from Cure. I mean, a Viking can be kind of nice. Oh, it could actually be a Tech Lab and a Fusion Core, right? And you could just go for like a delayed BC. That's something that you do sometimes see off of this 3cc opening. Not very commonly anymore, but absolutely an option. Now, the Overlord speed from RagnaroK, that should give you the scouting of pretty much everything here. It's not going to be that. It's just going to be a Liberator. It would have been, it's very off meta to go like Tech BC after 3cc nowadays, but just trying to piece together a little bit of a difference of what we're seeing here. Yeah, just going to be the Liberator, then nothing crazy. I mean, Stim will start up pretty quick as well. Cure may not start while the Overlord is here, just trying to hide as much information as possible, but I think as you read this as RagnaroK, you get in there, you're like, okay, well, I kind of see what you're up to. It's nothing, you know, super surprising. Is he going to get this Overlord kill? Oh my god, it just survives. So this 3rd CC lifts up, that will relocate. There's the Stim pack starting now as well. And as we do have the couple of extra Evo shimmers from RagnaroK coming up over on the natural expansion. And again, our Racks all building up here to play into bio. I mean, the one negative from RagnaroK is that you have effectively paid to see the fact that your opponent's playing greedily. You know, you've mined extra gas, you've built in towards Overlord speed, and that's quite an investment to then basically be like, oh, he's actually just macroing, like, super hardcore, so there's not really much for me to see here in general. So yeah, kind of interesting as the Hellions trying to poke around. The Liberator obviously will look to come in from a different direction, get some damage done elsewhere, and that will be the natural as RagnaroK Pulls away pretty nicely. Just a couple of drones that were left behind initially, and then Liberator will relocate and still just trying to move the Hellions around to go elsewhere at the same time. So just trying to find an opening, liberating the main base. Spore Crawler already on the way over as the Queen putting out some good damage. A couple of drones will drop. Spore will be able to pick that off. The Queen gets the kill as well. Yeah, nicely done. Good defense here as the Hellions show up on the third, but really not much you can do there as the Queens are able to push this back. So the Hellions will not do too much at all. As the Creep Tumor goes down, but again, nothing really all too crazy. Upgrades on either side. RagnaroK this game going for the fast Evo chambers and the lair means he will actually have pretty good upgrades in comparison to Cure. And then he gets the lair and the Bane Nest behind it. So the negative is obviously, the positive, faster upgrades. The negative is slower Bane speed, slower tech choice. Obviously hurts a little bit as well. Hey, thank you for all the love in the chat, guys. Initiating the hype train even. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll do all the proper shout-outs after the game, because obviously we're a few minutes in here already. Just want to say thanks for all the love. I appreciate it. Triggering the hype train. Always good to see. Always fun. As you do see the Marines coming down this bottom side. A Queen already going to get taken down. No transfusion in time there. And the fourth base might die as well. Marines might just commit for it. Another sim pack, and it's not even a cancel from RagnaroK. Couple mistakes there, because he did have a transfuse he could have dropped that he didn't get, and he doesn't cancel the hatchery. So again, a couple of not massive but small mistakes back to back. Does hurt a little bit right now as Cure doing pretty nice on this bottom side. Oh my god, he's going to come back in. He's going to get himself the hatchery again. It's another kill, not even a cancel. The other thing about not canceling means the drone is dead, right? So the next drone has to come back from the third base or so, and that just takes even longer to then get the rebuild started. So it's just that extra bit of a delay when you don't cancel, and instead you go for the when you get the kill. Fire pushing out, looking to see what's going on. Coming all the way down the bottom side, a few Hellbats and Widowmines coming up as just going to be seeing the banelings wanting to press in. I mean, it's kind of just a huge army from Cure. It's kind of crazy, actually. Widowmines here, what can they do is, well, they do nothing at all, right? The Widowmines didn't connect. It's actually a somewhat miraculous defense, I think, for Cure here, by RagnaroK here. Because Cure, like, had a lot there. He was like 30 army supply up. I mean, still is. Upgrades now evened out. Needs to start 2-2, though. Does not want to let our Zerg player get that 2-2 advantage for too long in this game. Couple Creep Tumors go down. Overlord gets picked off as well. Marines will load up into those medevacs and pull back up to the top right side. There's the combat shield coming up from Cure. Getting that going. Drilling claws on the way out. And again, just pushing down to the bottom side of the map. So Cure spreading out a little bit as our Widowmine's going to lead the way up here. Not going to get placed. Marines picking away at a couple of these Creep Tumors, and we'll see the Ling Bane going to keep on pressing forward. The Widowmines not going to go off just yet. In fact, all the Widowmines snipe down before they connect one more time. Cure's actually also been missing combat shields, which also will not help him. As we're just going to be seeing the Overseer moving around a little bit too. I feel like Cure's actually had some good opportunities for pushing forwards here, but RagnaroK's consistently shut them down, and now Mutalisks on the map will make life even more difficult. Because now those Mutalisks will be able to come in and shut down reinforcements a bit, and these banelings are connected, and, well, this time the Widowmines have drilling claws, so they will actually get burrowed at least, which feels like a small victory. As the rest of these Marines continue to try and press forwards, trying to pick up a Mutalisk or two. Not quite successful in it just yet, as the banelings of RagnaroK back over this right side. They'll get cleaned up, so they won't do much at all. Here does at least have a fourth base, so he wasn't super reliant on this previous set of attacks. You know, he does have a follow-up in plan, or in play. But yeah, it really has been kind of a tough time. RagnaroK trading a little bit worse than Cure, but that's to be expected, just typically how Zergs fight against Bio. Obviously, he's had a faster fourth base, etc. Another nice snipe down on a Widowmine. I really got to say, for me, the Widowmines have done not really anything positive in this map so far. It's been pretty rough to watch from, a Terran's point of view, right? It's been, Widowmines missing and missing again, and all of that as the Mutalisks of RagnaroK come back up to the top side. There is a Thor here, which will be the first kind of point of deflection. The Marines coming in too, there's no way the Mutalisks commit, so The thing is, though, now RagnaroK feels a bit of freedom. He gets the infestation pit going, and he's kind of a while away from Hive and 3-3 and Ultraless Cavern, etc. But it's that stepping, he's stepping towards it. And it does sort of put a bit more of a timer on Cure as to how long you can just play this bio-only force with Widow Mines mixed in. And, a timer as to when he has to start thinking about teching up further in this game. Shouldn't be an issue. He's got 4 bases. He's got good economy. 5th base up here is generally easy to take once you've got that low ground 4th base on Eternal Empire. But it does just change the pacing of the game typically. You have to start becoming the defender then as the Terran rather than the aggressor. And again, sometimes the Terrans struggle with that a little bit. It gives the Zerg a lot of control, and that's oftentimes what you want to try and stop the Zerg from having, really. Zerg's controlling maps can be pretty terrifying as Cure makes his way down to the bottom side. Widow Mines burrowed up already. A couple of creep tumors starting to drop down. Marines spreading out as the Widow Mines go off. Banelings come crashing in. The Thor's firing away. A lot of Banelings going down. And here comes our medevac from Cure boosting through. Instantly shut down, so the drop does nothing. At least the push in the front was having a little bit more success to begin. Even more bio of Cure coming out down across the map. We see the Zerglings wanting to press forwards there initially as well. The Mutalisks will come in from the upper left-hand side. They're going to go flying in towards this also. Maybe a larger fight here from RagnaroK, but doesn't commit for the moment. Hive just finished up, so again, access into all of those 3-3 Adrenal Gland Ultras Caverns. Everything you kind of want as well. Here we go. A couple of Widow Mines. First shot is actually really good from the Widow Mines this time. And the Thors are going to try and stand in the front and survive as we see the Widow Mine going off on an Overseer. Now reinforcements are starting to fight off. Creep definitely helps, but the Banes bust down the Widow Mines again, and the Mutalisks are going to turn their way onto these medevacs. And those medevacs will be chased away up to the top side. Zerglings go streaming in because RagnaroK spells blood in the water. He feels like he can win this here, and now his extra Banelings already arriving. It's always a danger for the Terran when the Zerg still has more Banelings to be utilized here, when they don't have to slow down to reinforce with those Banelings at all. And the Terran just doesn't have time to get production cycles out. And now Cure is in a lot of trouble as RagnaroK breaks through into the natural expansion. In the end, he has to back away. No real units left. I mean, he's got some Lings now showing up. Maybe that will be enough. I mean, he snipes down the Widow Mines that tries to burrow. The medevac's all still going down. The depots are not raised as there's bio units on it, so the Zerglings will continue to make their way through and fight here. As well, another Widow Mine sets up. The main base will be held, but the Mutas make a dive in. I mean, Zerglings going to get some kills on this low ground, and more units just reinforcing across the map. Could peel a few Lings away to that 3rd base mineral line to get some more damage done here, guaranteed, but at the end of the day, the damage already being done is pretty crazy and pretty substantial. I think RagnaroK is pretty happy, although, at the end, he didn't kill that many workers. I actually thought he'd killed a few more, so Cure will make a hold. Maybe RagnaroK went a little bit overboard there. I actually really thought this was over, but Cure survives for the moment. 3-3 about to kick in as well, so he's going to have an upgrade lead. Maybe RagnaroK did just go a bit too heavy on this commitment. Like I say, if he pulls some Lings over to this 3rd base, he could have denied so much mining there in the meantime at the same time, and that would have been a lot more SCV kills. Suddenly, Q is actually building back up. RagnaroK lost a lot more in those last few moments. Let's look at the army graph. You can kind of see RagnaroK never really... He lost a bit, right? And Q started to rebuild, so it's brought it closer to where it needs to be for Q to make this work. And having a 5th base up where you can mule is obviously helping Q a lot as well. Alright, Mutalisks pulling back as we do see another run by into the natural expansion. Some commands in the lifts. SCV split away. RagnaroK just backs off, takes base number 6 and 7, so giving him some extra options as well. And he's going for an engineering bay, but 3-3 is long done, so Cure's not really worried there, and Cure will. Just needs a few depots, and he will max out once more in this game. This felt like it was about to be GG, but absolutely not in the end. I was just going to be seeing the army moving out around the right-hand side. Lings and Banes moving to the upper left. Mutalisks flying around. Thor will start to deal some good damage here. A couple more Thor shots and the Mutalisks get pushed back. And again, Big Ling Bane army making its way towards the planetary forest. Yes, EVs can absolutely pull into that to repair, but with that many Banelings, probably not. Cure probably just says, well, I've got a new base already building down here. I'm just going to push at the same time. The thing is, this base isn't so important because there's already this base up for base number 6. This is a base that Kira is going to take down, but RagnaroK's not really too upset about losing. I gotta say, the craziest thing for me is Ultra Cavern up, but no chitinous plane yet, and it really feels that movement towards Ultras is what you're kind of missing here as the Zerg, as the Terran's being held back a lot of this game, has definitely been put in some trouble. Is in no way, shape, or form ready to deal with a, an Ultralisk army. And yeah, he's just so slow to set up towards that. Again, this is a Ling meter attack into this base over here, and the Bio will trade pretty well against it. We'll lose an Orbital, though. He's going to hang up in the main base. The rest of the Bio making its way back home. I mean, Kira's still in trouble, but it just feels like such a brute-forcing method from RagnaroK when there could have been just a little bit more finesse to the finishing touches of this game, I think. And it's just dangerous because someone like Kira can absolutely turn a game around if you make a couple too many mistakes, a couple too many fights that are just a bit too, unfavorable, despite you feeling like you're in a good enough position. I mean, this is obviously getting a little bit out of hand now, right? Kira's now lost 41 SCVs. So in this scenario, it absolutely is working out, don't get me wrong, but it is the more dangerous way to try and end the game. And that's the one thing I just want to point out here, that, in future games, RagnaroK really needs to not let this kind of game come back and haunt him a little bit and, try and play overly aggressive and then, not make it work. Medivacs and Bio still pushing down. Couple Marauders picking up some Zerglings. As this is basically the last push of Q. He does not have the economy to rebuild from this, as the Banes have group spread to work with as well. I mean, the Bio goes pretty deep, but the banelings will run even deeper as the Zerglings then flood in afterwards also. GG from Q. RagnaroK will take a game number 1. After Q kind of felt great for the first 8 minutes, 9 minutes, then lost a big fight on the bottom side of the map. Never really felt like he got his game going again after that. RagnaroK up 1-0 now in the best of 5. Pre-season is going to be great. The main tournament's looking great already as well. We've already got some great players there, expecting more to join. Very exciting as we jump into game number 2. In the top left-hand side, up map, our blue Zerg is RagnaroK, and he's going to have to go on the defensive here early, as our red Terran sends SCVs across the map. In the bottom right, we do have Kua. So, it's not just going to be 2 racks, it's going to be a 3rd racks coming up as well. Making its way all the way out up to the top. There's already a gas starting up though from Kua, which makes me kind of feel like this is going to be Reapers rather than Marines. Right? I mean, racks, gas, racks generally says Reapers. It's you would usually, especially if you go 3 racks, you would not usually go for gas at all, actually, because you are much more committed to marine production too, so you need all the minerals you can get. 2nd gas, Reaper production starts. And Kua, will 3 racks Reaper proxy? Well, that's one way to try and get back in this series after losing map number 1. This is a best of 5, remember, so first to 3 wins it. So Reaper's coming up. That rack's going to be finishing soon. The SCV coming all the way back down to the bottom right. And the Overlord of RagnaroK also making its way down to the bottom side here. I mean, he has no idea about this RagnaroK because he's actually sent the Overlord on a weird path to scout. So he actually even misses the fact that there's, no CC on the other side of the map for a long time. Now the first Reaper shows up and RagnaroK knows what's up. Now he did choose to go for a Baneling bust against Tasia earlier on today when he played against this. So we'll see if he wants to try and Baneling bust Kua here as well. And the first Reaper shows up, and now here comes Reaper number 2. RagnaroK just now getting the gas so he can go into Ling speed, but he's losing a couple Lings already. He needs these Queens. They will really solidify the defense in this main base as extra Lings popping out, but another drone first drone going down here from Kua. And he's going to get a nice little grenade there too, and that'll be an extra drone kill as well. This is really nice, but he's going to get some good damage on this first Queen already. Good bop on the grenade, although the second bop was not so great on his Reapers. But yeah, he's going to get himself a Queen. I think losing a Reaper is obviously, it's avoidable, but it's still okay when you get a Queen kill this early, because the Queens really are meant to be something that are solidified throughout this. They eventually get transfusions up and help each other out a lot. So to be losing the Queen so early here definitely feels like a problem, because the second Queen is very low, and that Queen will never be transfused, because this Queen popping out It's going to be so long until it has the energy for transfusion, surely. Link speed only halfway done. These Reapers again absolutely out of hand now. This Queen will go down. You just can't let this happen. This is just too much damage already here. Never mind thinking about going for a Bane Buster, so he actually pulled out a gas, so it's never going to be that, but you're not even going to get to that stage of the game as Reaper numbers keep building up. Another grenade pops here. You will lose a Reaper as he just goes super all out, killing this Queen. A bit careless from Cure, but it works as Cure will take game 2, and this series is tied in the new maps apparently. We can't stay away from them forever. 4 maps guaranteed. We're at least going to see Zen, right? Well, we're at least going to see Zen or one of the new maps, right? So we're either going to see Crazy or Everdream. As we set this up in the bottom right-hand side, our blue Zerg player from Chivo Esports. This is RagnaroK. It's 1-1 in a best of 5, of course. And the top left, our red Terran player, it is Cure. What's up, Sheepback? Thank you so much for the 4-month Twitch Prime resub. Welcome back to the Wardy family. Good to have you. It's been a nice day. We've had some subs coming through. For once, the sub count's not been dropping down. Yesterday, we were like, we're doing good on subs. And then the sub count was like, wait a second, we're going to dive bomb again. I was like, nah. But it's been a nice day so far today. Thank you for all the love, guys. Great to see you all. It's really been fun doing these qualifiers. It's so good to be back streaming. I mean, it's great going to Intellect Stream Katowice. It was a dream, but goddamn, it really made me realize just how much I've loved streaming since the start of this year. I mean, I've always loved streaming, but this year in particular has been really fantastic, and it's so good to be back. I missed it. Again, not going to do anything crazy today. I think tomorrow we're going to do the Kung Fu Cup into the ESL NA qualifiers. Oh, not the NA qualifiers, the ESL NA Cup from last week. We've got a few replays from that to cast, so we'll do a bit more of like a double stream tomorrow, as long as everything goes to plan. I also want to stream some Ori and the Will of Wisps this week at some point as well. Loved Ori and the Blind Forest. We're really excited to play the next version of that. So I want to stream some of that, I think, as well. Is the plan. So that's my plan. Hopefully works out. We shall see. As we set this up and running, we do have a Roach dropping down very early in the game, so we're going to be seeing aggression from the get-go. RagnaroK's like, Wardy, you've been enjoying streaming again? Well, let me make this series absolutely terrible by Roach in and making every game 3 minutes long after the first awesome game. And then let's see if you still enjoy casting me. I will, RagnaroK. You know, I'm going to stand up and say I'll be fine. It's a lot of Roaches ready to go, although he will be supply blocked soon. 3 more Roaches, and then supply block. It's not that bad because you can save the gas for some Ravages as well. Obviously, from Cure, there's a few steps to this. First step, figuring it out, realizing it's happening. A couple of things, obviously, seeing the Roaches straight up with this Reaper is a good start. It's nice that this Reaper got one of the Zerg kills initially because he moves across the map pretty quick. The second Zerg isn't really a threat. As soon as he sees the Roaches now, he's going to go into a Marine. Does he start up Hellions? He sees the Roaches for sure. Not sure if he actually saw the Roaches right away initially. He builds a tech lab on the factory, bunker on the high ground. Yeah, he's looking okay. You don't have to defend the low ground here at all. You can just lift that up and kind of move it away. Defending high ground is fine. You might lose these depots and a reactor. Tech Lab will build a Cyclone. Mobility is very important in this. Oh no, he's going to go straight for the Banshee actually. So Banshee going to be his choice rather than the Cyclone or tank. Which again I think would have been a Cyclone. I mean, you got to wait for this Banshee, which is going to take a while. It is going to be a little bit of a wait here. Corrosive Bowels to try knocking down the initial reactor and depot, but the repair is there, and you can see that RagnaroK's already droning behind this. Because the Ravager count isn't super crazy right away, you actually do have some time here where you can just sit and kind of repair these structures up. You need to defend this bunker though. You cannot let the bunker fall, because the bunker is what allows you to sit here and deal damage. Now, one Ravager and a Roach goes down. Oh my god, he's not even building a Banshee, he's building a Liberator. That's gotta be a mistake, right? He's building a Cyclone now too? The Liberator's gotta be a mistake. With Cloak building as well, unless he's really trying to fake it out or so. He's gonna lose the reactor now. I mean, it's only a Roach and 2 Ravagers left, but 9 SCVs have gone down. Remember, RagnaroK is already droning behind this. Liberator pops out, and I feel like these clicks from Kira was almost like, wait a second, what the hell is this? This isn't a Banshee. This isn't dealing damage. This isn't defending. Yeah, the Liberator is, I'm pretty sure, a misplay. As Kira wanted a Banshee there. He'll go into a Banshee now. He lost his tech labs. He lost Cloak, but he still gets a Banshee on the way. I mean, it's kind of rough. 13 SCVs lost. It's rebuildable, but it's only a 2-base play as well. There's no 3CC in this. I mean, little bits of damage like this, picking off an Overlord, supply blocking RagnaroK, slowing him down here and there. Those are the kind of things that will help you get back into the game, but it's absolutely going to be tough as we do have the... Oh, another Overlord going down, right? So keeping the supply blocks on the map, and yeah, that's absolutely a nice little something. Liberator will want to peel away and go harass a base at some stage here then. Now we do have a Banshee out as well, as the Cyclone gets a lock onto the 3rd base. Once again, just going to see our Cyclone trying to pick this up. I mean, obviously we'll not get a kill, but we'll be able to force the Roaches out. Might be able to get a kill on one of these Roaches. Didn't move forwards again. As the Liberator is trying to find a position. At the same time, this Banshee trying to find a way in too. Doesn't find anything just yet. Another Roach goes down. Oh, actually, the first Roach goes down. The other one already morphed into a Ravager. As the Liberator will drop. But hey, the Banshee over here got a couple kills as well. So sharing the workload, 5 workers killed and a 3rd CC in location. Kira is almost back on track in terms of the worker count here. Getting on track now with the production. Stimpack underway. The extra racks coming through. Biggest issue is, I was going to say, is the lack of reactors, but they're actually up and available now as well. So Kira's actually already built those, and yeah, maybe Kira's not in... It's obviously not the prettiest game. It's obviously not the best case scenario. It's definitely been a bit more damaging. It wanted to take a bit of a weirder defense than they expected. I think it's going to be looking good as we do have the Zergling picked off. Banshee able to take that down. The orbital command on the 3rd base now setting up as well, as we do see the couple Cyclones and these Marines coming out over to this right side also. Spelling these out over to the right. Evolution chamber dropping down in the back of the natural expansion here. Setting that up as our Roach speed coming through on the main base. And we do see the Mutalisks from RagnaroK just making their way out onto the map. All the way out into the center. Banshee will go down. And the 2 Cyclones able to nab that Overlord in the far left-hand side as well. These Mutalisks still all moving up the map. They saw turret to fire away a couple of times already. Marines and the Cyclones wanting to come forwards. The Cyclones getting a lock on. Mutalisks will just get pushed away. So good defense to start as well. I mean, as Kira... It's the kind of game where you don't really want to be taking any more damage than you've already kind of taken, right? You want to get back on track, and every little bit of defense like this works so much better. We just fly on in. A couple of shots on the engineering bay. Marines running all the way around the south side. Again, 1-1 upgrades and Roach speed, so it's going to be a Roach play afterwards as well. I mean, typically the idea from this style from RagnaroK is you use the Mutas to harass a while, you slow the Terran down, and then the next thing you know, boom, big 1-1 Roach attack, and, you know, the Terran's still running around after Mutalisks, they're not quite set up defensively. You know, the damage from the Mutalisks makes it a bit more difficult to be ready for the big commitment of a 1-1 Roach timing. You see all these Overlords building now as you hit 3-base saturation. That is going to be what we commit to from RagnaroK, but I'm not convinced the Mutalisks have really done enough to put this into that great of a spot to kind of commit to this. Like, I'm not sure this will do that much. We're already on, what, 2 siege tanks right now? We'll be on 3 before this attack happens. No bunkers, but honestly, the Marine count might just be pretty good anyways. There's still a lot of kind of variables in this, right? How quickly can the Roaches get on top of the tanks? Where exactly are those tanks sieged, etc.? Does Kira realize what's happening? Kind of depends a lot as well. I think if he knew what was happening, he would build a couple of bunkers, though. You know, a bunker here. Just anything to kind of soak up some shots so that the siege tanks last a bit longer, or the Roaches take a bit more damage running in, right? Anything to... Because it's very... Usually his defenses are very close, very clutch. So it really can just come down to little things. This Marine over here got 2 drone kills. It was just scouting, trying to figure out what's going on. Now he sees the Master Roach Ravager, and now... For sure, you know what's going on. Second factory building at the front. You would be surprised if that gets to finish. I mean, the Marines just keep pouring out. All the units will be at home defensively here from Cure, so it's kind of best case scenario. I guess my next question is, do you just pull SCVs into this to help defend? He's got to relocate some of the siege tanks over to this right-hand side because that's the direction RagnaroK wants to go from. Cure's going to lose quite a few supply depots. He's going to try and re-wall this left-hand side now instead. I like the Marines being over here, going to stop the Mulas from getting anywhere. And here we go. This is the commitment in. I mean, the right side looks a little bit weak from Q, and that's why the siege tanks saw he will win the left-hand side of this fight. Corrosive Bowels dropping down. The tank count is already pretty much gone. He needs to back away from those Corrosive Bowels. It's only Ravagers on the south side, though, and Q will be able to rip through those. When Ravagers are the targets, they die so quickly. No armored attack to help them out or anything. The new Ravagers here will go down as well. Those Corrosive Bowels don't hit anything, and there's a siege tank up as well. Keep this siege tank alive, and you are good for reinforcements as well, and Q will hold. Now about to be on 2-2 upgrades. This defense is huge for him because this is so all in from RagnaroK. No 2-2 upgrades, no fourth base. He's not prepared to play a longer game. He wanted to win this game with this attack, and he has not been able to. And now, Q is going to be on the verge of winning this series, actually, because he just needs to win this one, then win one more. And wins this game, he's on match point. As here we go, our bio going to start simming through. Roach Ravager will take so many shots from the siege tank this time. And the Corrosive Bowels were not in good enough numbers to kill the tank off. It still survives with enough bio pressing forwards to clean up the last little bit of Roach Ravager. Hewitt will take game 3 and take this into a real series in his favor now. After that first game didn't go so well, he's doing really good at resetting the momentum and bringing things back onto his own kind of, his own drawing board. His series are going to look like this in terms of map order. Or in terms of map pool. I feel like there's going to be a lot of vetoes on Golden Wall, a lot of vetoes on Purity and Industry. I feel Zen sticks around a bit more because it's been changed a bit, so it's had some improvements made. But I feel like those are going to be heavily vetoed maps that we don't see very often. Very matchup-specific maps in a way, where you see them like, you see them here, you see them there, and more so in some matchups than others. Because there'll be certain matchups where the weirdness kind of applies to both sides. As we kick this off in the bottom left, our blue Zerg is RagnaroK, needs to win 2 in a row. As in the top right, we do have our red Terran player Q. Game 4 of our grand finals of today's qualifier. After this, we'll probably do one of the round of 8 matches from replays, the Zaun Impact one, I think. We'll see how that series went down, and I think that's just going to be it for us. I think that's where we call it a day. Just give you guys a slight heads up on how things are looking and what the plan will be in this stream. That, or we could maybe do something a little bit different after. I'm not sure. I can't stream for too long though. I am have personal life, real life commitments today. Can you believe it? Wardy will be leaving the house. Oh, incredible. Does this guy even like StarCraft anymore? He didn't stream for like 11 hours straight? Oh, god damn it. I don't even know if I can support it. Like, crazy. Wardy stay here, send Cool Wardy out instead? God damn it. Cool Wardy's really becoming a good meme, huh? We need a Cool Wardy emote, don't we? Dark Thunder with the Woody Kapoper edit. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's amazing. Alright, guys. I see a second gas coming up here, so Q will not play 3cc. It's actually second gas before the factory. Am I missing something here? Second gas, then the factory? Because he's playing double Reaper, that's what I've not noticed. Okay, so it's double Reaper, so second gas comes down at the same sort of time. It's the factory that is a little bit delayed. As you just see the Reaper gonna drop down a grenade, Queen's gonna get bopped. We will just be seeing the CV still kind of patrolling that third base. He wants to try and force the third base here so that you can, if you force the third base in that front position, what you can do is you essentially have so much of a better push down onto it than this base over here. Although this base, you could argue maybe it's flat moving into it, but there's tank positions here. There's absolutely push potential. Reaper's starting to deal some damage. Zerglin's taking some hits as the lair starts up from RagnaroK, so he is really amping this game up. Might just be saying, okay, you've got me on 2 bases. I might just go into like a super fast Spire. You know, play into a really fast Spire, really fast Mutalisks. And just put myself into like a decent position from there. You know, it gives me a reason to be on 2 bases. And as he takes extra gases, that's absolutely what we're going to see. And if this was going to be a Nidus play or anything, first of all, if it was going to be Link Queen Nidus, the second gas wasn't necessary. And if it was going to be a Roach Nidus, the Roach Rowan would have to start building ASAP, and it's just obviously not coming in. So it will be a Spire as the choice from RagnaroK. Spire drops down back in the natural expansion there. The Cloak coming up on the starport. Tech Lab drops down as you do see the couple of drones from RagnaroK on the way out at the moment, so getting that set up and ready to roll. Impact coming in on the Rax Cloak Banshees building. Not much to talk about just yet as we just have this build up. Obviously the Mutalisks will do pretty well against the Cloak Banshees, so that's always a positive. From Kira, you've got to realize, okay, this was a very late 3rd base though, so there's got to be something going on. Right now, when he comes back out towards the 3rd base, he might, I want to say he might get cancelled. Like, there's a realistic possibility, but I guess the Queens are nearby. If this was like 8 Hellions, like if you went 2 more Hellions, he actually might have been able to do something about that 3rd hatch. Like, it would have been pretty close if the Banshee comes in as well. Obviously, it's still building, so it can't be transfused. Mutalisks already on the way up, so realistically, these Hellions have a timer on them before they get pushed back home by the Mutalisks, and the Banshees are in a similar scenario. I think Kira kind of knows, though. Look, he's pulling this Banshee all the way back. He's not going to move forwards with it. He's going to keep it very out of position, and again, if you can wait until those Mutalisks are on the map aggressively, then you can bring the Banshee into play. Raiders of RagnaroK will continue to fire away. Hellions being chased back up to the top right-hand side. The Reaper is very close to going down as well. Will drop here as the other one jumps up to the high ground, so we'll get away. Mutalisks taking a shot of damage, and both the Banshees actually survived to get across the map, so potential for damage here for sure. Now, yes, there's, you know, smoke roller, etc., but that doesn't stop the Banshees getting, you know, still 5, 6, 7 workers, which at this point I think is not a bad setup. You know, these Banshees as a commitment, you've got to remember these Mutalisks have been a commitment as well. I'm going to say 5, 6, 7. That looks actually like very easy numbers for these Banshees right now, although Queen, oh, actually Queen gets blocked by the Spore Crawler and will not get the final shot that was coming in towards the Banshees that were getting low already. So that is going to be 7 workers, make it 8. And if he stays out of range for a little while longer, he'll get 1 more. So it's going to be 9. Nice little job there. Gets a Queen kill too, right? So the Queen kill has a bonus on top. Always nice. And very quick second factory here, this time from QS. So looking to move very quickly towards, I imagine he's going to start drilling claws on this factory and then just go reactor down here and really build up that Widowmine count, unless he's about to play Swapperoo on something. But his structure, his tech lab and reactor stress setup looks pretty good for the moment, so looks like he will just build Widow Mines and go pretty quick drilling claws second factory to then support that count, unless he wants to go into a Thor. That's also a possibility, and then still reactor up here and go Widow Mine production on one factory, Thor on the other, and that might just explain why he doesn't go drilling claws yet. But just wants a couple Widow Mines initially, although one of these is going to go down before it can burrow. Trying to be a bit too adventurous moving so far out to that bottom side. Armory will be done, and that's the trigger for the Thor production, right? So I think that's the plan instead. Nope, it's drilling claws. I guess that's also the trigger for drilling claws. I should have just stuck by what I was thinking. Yeah, either way, he needed the armory to do either of the options I put out there. That's what I was kind of forgetting, right? So that's what he was waiting for. Makes a lot of sense, of course. Going to be seeing the army still setting up at the front. There's a few Marines and Hellbats setting up. Going to be pushing out into the center here. I mean, a 4th hatchery from RagnaroK on the bottom side of the map. Bling Bane moving back out into the middle as well. And this push from Kyo all the way up the top side. A couple Marines pressing forwards. The rest of these Marines stimming in. And Creep Team is already going down. So Creep taking a bit of damage here already. So these Banes start pressing forwards, the Marines splitting up. I mean, the first Banes don't really connect that well because of the Hellbats, so Kua will continue to push down towards this third base. And Kua won't make too much progress though, and the creep spread is actually still pretty nice. You know, a couple creep teamers deep in front of any base that Kua would want to attack into right now, so it's hard for him to really make something happen here, as a couple changelings will go down as well. And these Marines going to go on a bit of a spread out as Widowmine gets a decent starting connection also. Kua still thinking about which way he wants to go next. Back around to the right hand side, the Mutalisks moving up the top. 2-2 on the way on either side right here, as we do see the Marines joined up together, the Hellbats as well. This medevac full of Marines pulling up the top two. Actually finds a Thor in the background. Will get that kill, but costs him 3 Mutalisks, which is almost much more than the cost of a Thor, right? So it's not really the greatest of snipe downs. Fire spreading out a little bit. Banelings getting picked away at. I mean, Kua just keeps fighting really good fights so far. Resources lost starting to stack up against RagnaroK. This group of Marines, I mean, it's aiming for this base. I'd be surprised if it didn't just sit down and pick off creep spread instead. Now the Mutas across the map trying to counter. And the army still reinforcements here from Kua, so he's going to lose a depot, but it's manageable at this stage. He has got gases on the third base, so he's having to keep teching up. He's got the fourth base rolling into play as well. This Marine drop actually survives a big Ling Bane attack around the top side as Kua reinforces to the bottom. Really wants to make a push in towards this fourth base location. Now, the great thing for RagnaroK is A, he can counterattack, and B, if it doesn't work, he can pull back and surround this army. So, a couple of options here. First, Widowmine shot is huge, though. That Widowmine picks up 12 kills at the start. Next, Widowmines do okay, but they also blow up the Marines. Friendly fire there, definitely working against Kua, but everything on the ground is gone. It's just the Mutalisks remaining. And the Mutas, they're not going to do too much on their own, although if they cancel this base, that would be huge. He's going to get it. He's going to get a kill on the new CC, so fourth base denied. For the moment, as some extra Marines come up into the natural, the rest of these Lings going down. All of these Lings going down in the end, actually, as we do see the Mutalisks feeling away back around the bottom. 18 more Zerglings on the way up, 3 more Mutalisks coming through as well. And Kua continues to push down into the center of the map. 5 on the way from RagnaroK now. Building up in towards that hive. The bio army coming through, picks off a changeling. Kua, if he can strike like here and now, I actually kind of like his position because hive's a way off. It's still Lingbane Muta. Kua's army is huge in comparison to what RagnaroK is working with, and it's going to be even larger as Mutalisks fly over. Marines 4 go down. Oh, it's tough. It's really tough. As the scan comes in, the creep will be pushed back already. Lingbane wanting to run up here. Oh, the first few Banes starting to connect. The Marines starting to split now. The rest of these Banes in really high numbers. The Baneling count's actually a little bit insane. And that's a lift and a fly the frick out of there. You do not want to stick around in that fight. As Kua will set up some of his Widowmines to start fighting here as well. They're going to go off on the initial Zerglings. Actually an unburrow reburrow to make sure they don't go off on friendly fire units this time around. Got a bit micro there as always. These Marauders doing a great job tanking in his choke point. You just can't attack that as RagnaroK. The thing is, RagnaroK is buying time for Hive, but at the same time, Kua is like, well, if you push me back now, I still have a 3-3 timing coming up. We're only 35 seconds away from 3-3 being in play, and that's obviously a very powerful moment to hit in. You're ahead in upgrades, the Zerg is invested into Hive, and will start to build 3-3 Adrenal Glands Ultra Cavern, and yet none of it will be in play. And so it's the perfect, in this game, it's going to be like a pre-Hive timing, essentially. It should work out quite well. It's kind of going to fill the role of what a 2-2 timing would usually do. Hit the Zerg, and those 2-2 upgrades kick in, and the Zerg's thinking about starting to attack. It's the same idea here with the 3-3, just because of the way the game is played out. Lingbane on the bottom right. Mutalisks in the center from RagnaroK. I mean, it's nice to see a couple of run-bys already set up. You know, Mutalisks still staying aggressively. The drops at the same time set up here, though, from Kua, so he's also looking for opportunities to find himself a base or two. I mean, this base might end up being cancelled. It may also allow him to bring the rest of his army out on the map. Here comes that Bane attack to the right side. The Widowmine here will blow up a good few of these Banelings, and actually gets a really good chunk of them, so only 4 remain. And Oh, yeah, that's going to be it. So actually only 4 workers killed off here. This mirroring drop goes into the main base. This base here did get cancelled and rebuilt. So that is a victory on the drop on the bottom side. Honestly, this drop on the main base doing a pretty decent job. And now Kyo using this as the big distraction to set up the big push. And this base might just die. Kyo is already getting in on top of it. And, well, let's see what the Widow Mines can do. See what position they can put themselves in. A lot of banelings building here that aren't ready just yet. Oh my god, the Widow Mines are all stacked up in the center though, which means that they could have all been blown up at the same time. In the end, that doesn't really happen. And the Marine Marauder on the bottom side of this is what really wins out. But 37 more Banes in production. They are now in play, and the Widow Mines aren't here to deal any splash damage at all. So it's just a straight up split from Cure. Is it enough? Right now, it seems like it might just about be. There's a few Marines left. The 3-3 is really coming through in a fight like this one. And now only 2 Banelings morphing in, and that's going to start being the issue here. 3-3 Marines against these Mutalisks, but the Widow Mine kills a bunch of Marines, so the Mutas will now reign supreme, and Cure will be pushed back. And RagnaroK might actually survive to another stage of this game. More Widow Mines showing up. The reinforcements here trying to fight a couple of the Banelings that were. These were the only 2 Banelings that morphed. They show up in the fight as Widow Mines at this stage really aren't killing very much. I mean, Q still comes out of this with an army supply lead. 3-3 is closer and closer to finishing though from the Zerg. RagnaroK trying to build the first Ultra, but he doesn't even have Kindness plating done yet. So that Ultra is going to pop and be pretty undefended. It's not going to be looking all that great, really. Fire pushing this bottom side. Hatchery falls right away. These few Broodlings pop out there. Will try and come into play as well and get something done. They don't really achieve too much, however. A few Widow Mines on the way out from Kira as the Mutalisks make their way around this top side. They're going to come through and see what they can do. Widow Mines continuing to burrow. And Kira will just gather everything together again. Around 200 supply here pretty much, as a few extra creep tumors going down once more. And this push forwards from Q is still trying to fight. Still trying to see what will happen. Liberators sieging up already. The Roaches coming through. The Zergling's taking some damage. There's the Bioforce. Does a fantastic job of cleaning up here already. The Zerglings continue to take a bunch of damage as well. Marauders pulling back. Widow Mine still going off. And it looks as though Q really does have the numbers just to push through this right now. All of these Zerglings going down. This Ultralisk is going to fall. These Mutalisks are in a lot of trouble. And the game pretty much just starts to end here, right? I mean, even if you get Ultras out in any sort of number now, it's not in any realistic number that you can get to. It's just not going to work. The Liberators are here. They can siege against Ultras too. And Cure will take this victory. 3-1 against RagnaroK. Some revenge from the WardiTV 2020 finals. And Cure with the win to send him through into... I mean, this one's just for prize money. But again, these guys will all be qualified for the WardiTV Spring Championship preseason. GG is Cure, 3-1. And we'll win this out after a tough first game. Some great games.